Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Backlash review. And I got some of the guests in the house tonight. Not everybody could make it, but we got three out of the many. So we're going to give our reviews of the show, and we'll see how good we did at the end of this show. I will say once again, I totally suck. So I'm going to introduce the man who came very, very close of winning the Imagine Heavyweight title. And let's just say I was pissed off and I lost my voice trying to cheer him on, but he was phenomenal in the ring. It just wasn't his night. And he'll get somewhere down the road. He will get his return match. But everybody, I'm welcoming the world beater, Chris Coleman, to the show. Chris, how you doing?
Good, Bubba. I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I forgot last week. I was so excited to get done with an hour, and you didn't get to cut your promo. So let's do your promo on what happened Saturday night, and where do you think you can be if you get the return match?
Well, Gorgeous Gregory and the Ross and Son dynasty there decided that I couldn't defeat Gregory. They had to interfere and cost me that match. And somewhere down the line, I'm going to get my hands on all three of them. And when I do, it's going to be a bad night.
Good. And I hope you do, because I was so upset, man. And I wanted, me and Donnie, Mr. Tapout, wanted to come in and help you out, but we can't. I'm retired. Donnie still has that one, I think that one left in him. I wish it could happen with Team Tap Out reunited for one more time. But it was, we were there, man. I lost my voice. So everybody out there, I don't feel as good as I do because I was cheering on the world beater, Chris Coleman, Saturday night. He was so close. He was this close, people. So my next guest in the review show is our man, Rich Smoke, the smartest man in Philly. How you doing, Rich?
I'm never going to acknowledge that, by the way. I don't care if you call yourself. I don't care, man. Can't do it. No, I'm doing pretty good, man. Doing pretty good. Can't complain.
Gotcha. Cool. Thanks for showing up. I know it's so hard, during the week, but we're gonna try to get through as fast as possible, but not as fast as we did the other day. But we never know. But I just want to say, you guys have some great picks. I, for one, totally sucked. But to round out this panel this evening is the newcomer, and oh my God, he was kicking ass in these picks. So welcome from Connecticut, Danny. Welcome, Danny, to the show.
Thanks for having me, Bubba.
Yeah,
you're welcome.
his strategy, do whatever Rich does. That's pretty much what his picks were.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever Rich picks, we're going to follow along. Way to go,
Yeah.
Danny. Good job. I'm just kidding.
For his first time on a show doing picks, you wait, because I tell you right now, I'm the guy that hosts this stuff, and once again, I'm in last place. So let's kick it off. What's fair about it, though?
I was just going to say quickly, to be fair, me and him were watching Backlash over the phone, and I'm like, you know what makes this so much more fun? The fact that Bubba took the opposite of almost every match, because he's like, oh, well, one of these has to trade hands. This one, okay, if that one doesn't trade hands, then this one will. So let's just pick the opposite of every match, and I'm bound to win one. Well, unfortunately, no titles changed hands, and every pick that you as changing hands did not go according to plan. But made it much more fun to watch knowing what your picks were. So I enjoyed Backlash more than I would have, I think. So I appreciate you, Bubba. I do.
Well, thank you. I mean, I'll try, but hopefully my recipe of success will actually happen. But the first match of the card was the SmackDown Ladies Championship match. Champion Bianca Belair versus, oh my God, Sky. Io Sky. Sky. Thank you, Chris. My Japanese is off. Now,
We'll get it.
Chris, I'll start with you first. What did you think about this match?
This match, there were good parts, but there were a lot of bad parts in this match. The Puerto Rican crowd was definitely behind Io Sky. She
was hot.
She for them was the babyface in this match, not Bianca Belair.
Right.
And the way Bianca Belair worked a lot of this match was very backwards to the rest of her presentation. You know, she's this smiling baby face and everything. But, you know, Bayley comes down to support her girl. completely unprovoked, she jerks Bailey into the ring and attacks her. That's what a heel does.
Yeah.
And a lot of the stuff. I'm looking down at my notes. They a lot of times it seemed like they were getting in a hurry.
Okay.
Yeah.
They wanted to get to the next thing, and things got sloppy. And a critique I've had of Bianca Belair's for a while. I haven't really voiced it on this platform, but I have in the past with other folks. Is Bianca Belair at times is reckless with her opponents.
Ooh.
She did that one-arm military press.
Yeah.
It's impressive. It's great. But then she didn't bother to safely deliver her opponent to the mat. She dropped it right on her face.
Yeah. I thought she broke her nose.
And then you see the
I
power
thought
bomb
so
from the
too,
turn, and then you see the power bomb from the top turnbuckle. The first thing of Io's that hits the mat is her hip. You watch the same power, a very similar in intensity power bomb delivered later by Rhea Ripley to Zelina Vega. She lands perfectly flat. So there's some sloppiness and some recklessness with her opponents there that I didn't care for.
Okay. Danny, what about you? What's your take on that ladies championship match?
I'm gonna go with Chris and saying it was kind of sloppy. It was good, but I kind of felt at times it was kind of sloppy. The way that Bianca was, doing her moves, and even Io Sky, she was like, it just kind of felt sloppy. Like, don't get me wrong, if I had to grade it, I would give it probably a B, but that's why, because of all the sloppiness, I was just like, And even Rich was like, telling me like, "Oh, dude, this is kind of sloppy."
Yeah, it was hard to
Speaking
watch.
Rich, yeah, go ahead, Rich. What was your take on that
I
match?
thought the opening was really good. I thought they were really patient. I mean, and it's funny. I never really paid attention to many spots and all that stuff. And then I started doing these podcasts with you guys, where you guys have been in the business. Now I'm like looking for spots, and I'm like, can I start telling if some people are off? And and it's funny, you definitely can once you realize that it's there, and you kind of keep an eye on. You could definitely tell missed spots here and there. I felt like it started off really well. There was really good pace to it, and then somewhere in the middle, it kind of just felt like, again, what Chris said is, it felt like they were just kind of rushing to get to that like big part. I don't know if it was excitement or if it was just the crowd having them so amped up. It kind of just gets that adrenaline pumping. I don't know. Overall, it was a good match. I was really. It actually was interesting because. I was shocked that Io had such a back. It was. I figured that she might get a little bit more. But the fact they were chanting her name, and usually Bianca is like a top fan favorite. Like usually, no matter where you go in the States, usually Bianca's name is being chanted nonstop. So it was interesting because I thought that Bianca had a full-on fan advantage. Like I thought the fans were going to be riding her big time. But with
They
Io,
turned on her.
It felt strange that I went into that match thing. Yeah.
A lot of, in my opinion, a lot of Bianca's presentation leads itself to her being a heel.
Yeah. I feel like that's where
I'm the EST. I'm the fastest. I'm the strongest. I'm the prettiest.
Yeah.
I'm the.
It's always been an arrogant. It's always been an arrogant. Yeah, it's an arrogant gimmick. Yeah, it is.
That's what an arrogant heel says. They're better
that's
than
what's
everybody
weird
else.
That's what's weird is this is probably for her to not be a heel, it's probably the most arrogant I've ever seen somebody who's not a heel. Because usually that's how it is. Like you start to transform from a modest, just like really excited to be there, happy to win, and then you just slowly with her, it's felt like it's always been an arrogant standpoint. But overall, it's a good match. I was happy with it.
I don't think that she realized that she was going to get booed in Puerto Rico.
She looked confused.
I don't think she realized that the crowd turned on her and did what they did, so I just felt like that was Io Sky's best match in her WWE career.
Maybe ever.
I thought the title was changing, but then Bailey and then Dakota Kai come out and then they kicked Bianca. I figured, okay, they're going to win with a screw job, and that'll be it, and then I'll get the victory. But that wasn't the case.
Yeah.
And like Chris said, with that one-arm power Gorilla's press, I didn't like that at all. That was terrible.
to be truthful, I mean, when I go into these matches, it's funny because I told you guys before. Like, I mean, I picked with my heart time number one at Elimination Chamber, which screwed me, and ever since I've been using my brain, and that's where my picks have been getting a lot better from. But like, best believe I don't give a shit if I lose my picks. I mean, that match had me hoping that Io was going to prove me wrong and she was going to pull it out, because there was a few times in that match where you kind of felt yourself gravitating towards her the whole time. I'm like, holy shit, I really want her to win this match. I mean, it was interesting. I will say, from a wrestling standpoint, it's been a little while since a match surprised me that much, at least from a fan perspective. I was not expecting that. And you can definitely tell at the end of the match, Bianca definitely didn't seem too thrilled of even like acknowledging the fans. I mean, she kind of like rushed off from what I was reading online. She kind of left the ring pretty quick after the match was over.
Well, Craig had that nice little comment there. Craig from Patton, thank you for tuning in. And we got some people on the social media. Joe, no, I do not love Tom Brady. No, I do not. Nathan and Sarah and Janelle, thanks for tuning in to the Backlash review on the Megacast here. Let's go. Now, everybody in the panel picked Bianca Belair. I was the only one that picked Io Sky. So I'm already 0 for 1. So now
you should have seen it coming, though, Bubba.
Danny,
he does. That's the thing. He talks about it before his pick. Like, he knows that what he's picking is like a wild card. So that's why I said you have to look at Bubba's win-loss record with a little bit of like skepticism, because really, it's not like he goes in like, yo, it wasn't like he came in here passionate. Like,
Larry,
Io Sky's going to win. It's not like he comes on here like, Io Sky's going to win. Bianca sucks. Like, he's like, listen, Bianca's probably going to win, but I need to start catching up on picks. I'm taking Io. So it's not like he's losing them like ridiculously. Right. You definitely pick them from a spot of, and plus it makes it more fun. It does.
Yeah. Well, Larry Stryker's in the Facebook stuff. Larry, come on. I sent you the field. If you could come on. I know you had a big. I'll let you know how you did after. Ryan, Nathan. Thanks for tuning in. Rich Smoke got that bag, he says. Ryan says Rich Smoke got that bag. So you did pretty good, Larry. Way better than me. And I know you're busy. And everybody, Wrestling Extreme Podcast had a great interview Sunday night with Gorgeous Gregory. I hate to say it, Chris Coleman. They should have interviewed. You should have popped on and lit him up. But
that would have been fun.
Yeah. So the second match was Seth Rollins versus Omos. And actually, this match lasted 10 minutes and 31 seconds. So, Chris, what was your take on this match?
I mean, Seth Rollins does it again. He has a really good match with a guy who is not known for having really good matches. I mean, he got more out of Omos than I think anyone even expected him to. I mean, that's really all I can say about that match is that it was far better than it had any right to, and I'm glad I missed that pick.
Yeah, because I'll get back to when we all talk about it, and I'll let you know who you picked. But Danny, what about you on the second match with Rollins over Omos?
Rich knows that I'm not a big Seth Rollins fan, but in that match, I definitely was rooting for him. Yeah. Oh, okay, we get it. Whatever. He knows I'm not a fan of him. But I thought his finishers, I thought they were pretty clean. I was like, oh, okay. A couple times I was like, oh, he's got it this time. And then when he threw him off that one, I was like, oh shit. I was like, damn, he tossed him up like a rag doll. But I definitely liked the match. We talked about it before, but I definitely feel like it was just a thrown out match. Like here's just a filler match.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of them. I seen one Saturday night was a filler match. Yeah. So, Rich, what's your opinion and take on the Rollins Omos?
I love Seth Rollins. I mean, just as
hold on, I think I got somebody coming in.
There
he is. There he is.
Oh, it's Larry Stryker.
Hey, what's happening?
What's up, brother? But yeah, I mean, overall, I think this is probably Omos's best match, I think, so far. I mean, just from what I've watched, I mean, I thought that the Lesnar one was kind of pointless and all that. I mean, Omos has definitely not been any of our favorite wrestlers over the last couple of months. I think we've given him more criticism than anybody else. Well deserved, by the way. But yeah, like you said, Seth Rollins does it again. I mean, this man somehow pulls the best out of like I think most people he wrestles with. I thought that match was a lot better. I think it was supposed to be a filler. So going back to what everybody was saying, I think it was supposed to be a filler match, but I think it ended up being a lot better than what a lot of people expected. I mean, it wasn't an A+ match or nothing like that, but for a match that Omos was in, it ended up outperforming every expectation I had going in. So pretty damn good match.
Larry, since you were a little late, I know you're a busy man. What was your take on this lovely Seth Rollins Omos match?
It was what I thought it would be. Horrible.
It wasn't horrible.
I'm not a big Omos fan, but I mean, I like when Rollins went to give him the curb stomp and almost blocked it, which was pretty cool. No one's ever done that before, I don't think.
Yep.
But I thought match of the night, going back, was the Io Sky and Bianca match.
Okay.
I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, and you picked you picked her. You picked Bianca. I was the only one to pick the Io Sky. See, I thought the finisher with Rollins going off the top to giving him the stomp, and he actually made Omos. This is probably his best match he ever did. So what can I say that we already haven't said? I mean, everybody, Larry, Donnie, Rich, Danny, Todd, and myself picked Rollins. Omos was Chris and Shane. And I think Chris was doing it because he thought of something else when he made that pick.
I thought they were going to make try to make a statement with Omos that, he'd go further in this one night title tournament or whatever.
To be fair though, I think they did that with even giving him the loss. I think just how good he looked in that match for the very first time might have even did for them what they were hoping for.
Sure.
So I mean, I feel like it kind of worked out either way. I think whether he wins or loses there, I think either way, it definitely draws a pretty good spotlight on him after that. So
I did read about it, and with all the losses, they're thinking about bringing Omos back into the Hurt business. It's what I read on Google. I don't know. I don't believe all that shit that they say, but I was like,
don't drink the Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
There's some nasty stuff in that Kool-Aid. You don't want none of that.
No. Stephen Harris and Nicholas, thanks for tuning in to the review show of the Mania Megacast. That's what I call it now. It's a review of Backlash. And we're going to give little synapses of all the matches. Stephanie, thanks for tuning in. So this match here was a three-way for the U.S. Championship. Champion Austin Theory versus Bobby Lashley versus Bronson Reed. I'm just going to go right around. Chris, I'll start with you. What you would think about that three-way match for the title?
I mean, it was a good match. There was some definitely some exchanges there that you hadn't seen before. How they got into, Theory and Bronson kind of getting at odds with each other, and but also you have that typical three-way issue where one guy takes a move and then has to disappear for 2 minutes while the other guys take the center of the ring, and that kind of takes it away from me a little bit. But it ended pretty much the way I thought it was going to, and the way Danny had alluded to when we made the picks initially, that Austin Theory was going to steal the win after someone else hit a big move, and that's exactly what happened with Bronson Reed missing that moonsault and then Lashley hitting that spear.
Take that smirk off your face, Daniel. I see you.
Rich,
I just know how Theory is. He's that little cocky, arrogant prick that I just know.
All right. Save it for your review period.
Rich, what since Danny was jumping on your tread, Rich, what is your take on that match?
I will say this is one of the ones I was really excited for. I thought all three of them brought a lot to the table. I mean, Theory's done pretty well. Lashley's always been a really good heel. And I thought Bronson Reed, they've been really building him up for quite some time too. I mean, they've definitely been putting him in some major matches. I will say I liked it. But I will say my only problem with it was that it lasted less than 7 minutes. I felt like there was a lot more that could have been done. For example, a lot of the other matches that we're going to talk about coming up, even even the EO match, went on a lot longer, right? I mean, like for example, in my opinion, like before when this is on the writing table, there's no reason that Seth Rollins and Omos should have went on longer than this match. I mean, I feel like this match right here had a lot of a lot of potential. Between all three of those guys being great in ring, great, they're great at what they do. I expected a lot longer of a match, maybe not 20 minutes, nothing like that, but I expected at least maybe 4 or 5 more minutes of maybe trading some blows back and forth, adding a little bit more excitement to it. But overall, it was a good match. It's just I felt like it was just over too quick.
Well, you actually got agreement. Big Glenn from Anderson from Living Room Sports Chat Podcast. I might have messed that up, but it's going to be
that's
close
a really long title if you got it right.
Yeah, it is. L.A. Diamond. That we'll go with that one. He said it needed more time, so he agrees with you. Mr. Cato, thanks for tuning in
the only surprising part of that match is just like you were thinking that somebody was going to kick out and you were waiting for what was going to come next, and never happened.
Living Room Champs.
There you go.
That's his podcast.
That sounds much better than
Living Room Champs. Yeah, well, I try to give a plug, so if anybody hasn't subscribed, look it on all your social media, Living Room Champs. So, and also Wednesday nights, Mr. Ken Downs, Casanova Cato, does Imagine Wrestling on YouTube for all you wrestling fans. So, Danny, now back to you, Danny, on your take of this three-way match.
Here we go.
Well, Rich already said it. I knew, as being an arrogant prick, I knew he was gonna do some cheap shit like that. He was gonna, I didn't know if Bronson Reed was gonna hit the finisher or Bobby Lashley, but I knew he was gonna do something like that. I was like, okay, because he's always done it in every single match that I've seen him. He's always done something like that. So I was
John Cena.
Yeah, exactly. I actually forgot about that match.
Yeah.
But,
probably
John
should.
Cena,
You probably should forget about that match.
I've turned a little bit. I'm not as sour on John Cena as I used to be, though.
I like Cena.
What are you talking about?
They're not big Cena fans.
He's old, but he's still badass.
That bald spot was the worst part of the match.
Oh yeah.
Well, I like Cena in other ways. His acting. I don't like to be force fed somebody I know. He's good with little kids and good with the military. Yep. So I'm all cool with that. But
the hardest part for me about seeing John Cena wrestle again when I was younger, I stopped watching wrestling for years. He was, the doctor of thugonomics and all that, and he came out like a hoodlum and all that, acting like a tough guy. And then seeing him come out with the big giant bald spot, looking like my shriveled up alcoholic uncle, I'm like, what the hell happened to John Cena? Where did somebody peeled him off of a bar stool? It looked like, and threw him in that ring with Austin Theory. It's just been a while. That's all. I'm a little rusty for wear, but I'm climbing back.
Okay. Larry Stryker, Extreme Wrestling Podcast.
Critic. Here we go.
What is your take on this three-way United States Championship match?
I actually liked it. It was kind of short, but I actually thought Bronson Reed stepped his game up a bit. I noticed that right off the bat. Within the first couple minutes, I was like, shit. He came to play.
Oh, he can move.
Yeah, for a big man, I mean, holy shit.
Well,
but yeah, I mean, I thought it was a good match, other than being short, and Theory came out on top.
Yeah, well, I thought it was a short match, like you guys agreed, because it was a three-way. A three-way match like that should be a little longer than, like Rich said, 7 minutes. I believe it should be at least 15, maybe a little longer. Maybe they had
definitely longer than the Omos match.
Well, maybe they had to. Maybe they had to extend the Bad Bunny Damian Priest match, and maybe the first match went a little over too much. I don't know, because I don't work for him. I have no idea, but I do like Bronson Reed. And speaking of Bronson Reed, I actually took him once again. Everybody that took Austin Theory was Larry, Chris, Donnie, Rich, Shane, Danny, and Todd. Myself, once again, took Bronson Reed. So I was hoping for one of these titles to change. And like Rich said, no titles change hands. And I don't know. Like at least one.
You remind me of those guys that go to go to the casino and just like they have a shit ton of money, right? And what they do is they take the worst possible. Let's say a horse race, and you take the horse with the lowest possible odds. It's like, you know what?
I can't
Put
win.
$5,000 on that fucking horse. see what
I
happens.
can't win.
And
I
if,
fucking
and
lose
if
all
you
the time.
lose it, no big deal. And if you win, you hit the fucking jackpot.
Hey,
It's either go big or go home.
Real quick, I bet the one time with the Steelers in Jacksonville, and that's the time that Cower was gonna. It was a blocked field goal, and Cower was gonna come out and kill somebody. My bookie gave me the money before the kick. He's like, Bubba, you already won. I'm like, okay. Well, that field goal was blocked, and he almost went on the field. I had to give my money back to the bookie, and that's why I can't bet. I can't bet with my heart when it's against the Steelers. I'll bet other stuff, but not. I can't, and I can't even win any of these wrestle matches. I am terrible. But let's get to the fourth, the ladies championship match. Champion Rhea Ripley versus
Zelina
Vega. I don't have my glasses on.
There you
Zelina
go,
Vega.
Zelina Vega.
Super hot.
You need readers, Bubba.
I have readers, but it reflects off my studio here. And it looks like, yeah. So, okay, Chris, what was your take on this championship match?
A lot like the Bianca Belair Io Shirai match. It was a good match. You knew going into it that there was no way Zelina Vega, the hometown girl, despite the fact that she's from Queens and not Puerto Rico. You knew she wasn't going to win the title. You know, the only crazy thought you could have possibly had for her winning the title was she's staying on SmackDown and Ripley's going to Raw.
Yep.
But they'll do probably the same thing that they did with I believe it was Becky and Charlotte, where they'll just come together and trade the belts or whatever. You can see Rhea's star power. It's palpable.
Oh yeah, of course.
And Zelina had a great match. In a time where they haven't been giving her a lot of great matches. She had one there with Ripley, so there's definitely a future there as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Rich, what was your take?
And the size differential is pretty remarkable too. I mean, Rhea being 6 foot, and I think she's like almost 200 pounds, and you got Zelina who's 5'1", 100 pounds even. I'm just saying, like size-wise, it's pretty remarkable that she was able to pull that off too and make it look so damn good. No, I agree. Thought it was a great match. I mean, the most shocking thing for me was was that the match with Carly? No, that was never mind. No, I think I'm thinking of the wrong match right now. My head's slipping. I'm thinking too far ahead.
Okay,
Sorry.
it's okay.
Sorry. No, but yeah, I knew I was getting mixed up somewhere in here. But it was a good match. I thought it was really cool. I mean, she was really emotional going into it and even after, so that was pretty cool to see the fans react the way they did. I agree. I was looking it up on Google, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure she's from Queens, but Puerto Rico it is, no problem. We're going with heritage, not actual like where we're born at, I guess. So therefore, I'm going to be the Irish Nightmare if I become a wrestler one day, even though I never stepped fucking foot over there. Or German. We'll see. I'll pick one. Whatever one sounds better.
Well, don't go German because then if you say anything bad.
Better.
It'll be real bad if you're anything German.
That's true.
Man.
That's true.
They don't.
Yeah. Not to mention German heels. Not to mention
They-
German heels don't usually last a very long
No,
time.
they do not.
Try that. Wasn't that Heidenreich? I believe he was German or Russian. I can't
No,
remember.
Bradshaw did a goose step in Germany, and they escorted him right out of the country.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'll come up with something. I mean, whatever nationality I'm feeling more of that day. So
just be a Philly. Hey, all you got to do is come from Philly. You'll be hated just like Santa Claus. You'll be good to go.
A dirty bird.
Santa Claus.
Bubba, listen, my last name is Santiago. I'm half Hispanic, so I gotta agree with
you. But you wouldn't go out in the ring carrying a Puerto Rican flag though either. You're born in Connecticut, which is I think it's as little Puerto Rican as you can possibly be for being Puerto Rican. That's like being Puerto Rican from Maine or Montana. I mean, what does that even count anymore? Now, all jokes aside, but overall, great match. I liked it. I was actually pretty impressed. I thought she did a really good job. And like he was saying, all we've been seeing her doing is walking out with the LWO, just looking pretty and doing nothing.
She is pretty.
So it was cool that they finally gave her a little bit of attention.
Aleister Black, he knows what he's doing. Aleister Black.
But it was nice. But he just likes to throw her around. Let's be honest. But it was nice to see her get some actual wrestler attention and not just an eye candy kind of.
Lucky guy.
Yeah, Danny. Danny, what's your take on this match, Danny?
Listen, I know a lot of people dislike her, but Rhea Ripley is definitely one of my favorite divas. I know she's not the best looking. Don't get me wrong. I know she's not the best looking, especially with all that goth makeup and shit.
She's
But
not the worst either, guy.
exactly, Larry. Thank you. That's what I'm
Man.
saying. Especially when she was NXT. Oh, I saw that. Oh, I was like, oh damn. I was like,
All
oh
right,
shit.
Danny.
But no, I definitely thought it was a good match. It didn't take that long. But I definitely enjoyed it. It was definitely one of my favorite matches.
It was a
I
David
like,
Goliath kind of match because
yeah, exactly.
you know,
But it as far
Zelina's
as
not-
David and Goliath, if Zelina had won it, then I would have said, because like it says, oh, David beat Goliath. So if Zelina had won it, I would have been like, all right, Bub, I agree with you. But yeah,
well,
my girl took it.
well, Larry, what about you?
Well, first off, I won't kick Rhea out of my queen size bed. That's for sure.
A queen size bed? Are we plugging in queens now? We don't do kings and souls no more. We're
I
talking
got
queens.
I got a king. I don't know. You're the king. You need a king size bed, not a queen.
No, it's all about irony. That's what today's
That's all I
episode
got.
is.
I got a queen, so we'll have to do with that. But yeah, Rhea's going to be a force for a long time. I think. I thought the match was good. It was better than I actually thought it would be. I thought it would be a all Ripley match, but Zelina had her spots, and I thought she did well.
Yep.
Well,
She looked good coming out with that flag too.
well, that was a major pop right there. I mean, the
Yeah.
crowd got behind her.
Crowd
I mean,
lost
she
I
dedicated
give
this match to her dad.
No,
Yes.
I give that to her, but with all the tears, she gave so many tears, and I was like,
Well-
oh, come on, dude. I'm like, these are just crocodile tears at
Nah,
this
she
point.
she
right?
gets emotional. I believe those were real, Danny. Those are real because she probably will never get an opportunity for a title shot again. She was in Puerto Rico,
Yeah.
in her
First paper-
heritage.
First time in Puerto Rico since 2005, right? Wasn't
Yeah.
it 18 years now?
She dedicated this title match to her. Oh, here's Shane. They're all coming in. All dedicated. Shane dedicated this match to her father. So,
Oh shit.
yeah, I mean,
No
it was.
shit.
I mean, she was in the ring, standing there, just emotional for at least, I don't know. It seemed like an eternity.
Yeah.
Well, see,
So-
Bob, you
and
gave
I
me
mean,
something new. I didn't
yeah,
know that she dedicated it to her
Yeah,
father.
it
So
was
And
pretty-
I was in the ring a
kid's
couple
mine.
months ago, Danny. It didn't have nothing to fucking do with me. And Chris Coleman will tell you it was when Big Lenny retired from Imagine Wrestling. I was more emotional than anybody. I was fucking crying like I was an 8-year-old kid, or 10-year-old kid, or 12-year-old kid, or a 52-year-old kid. It was.
Big Lenny might have been Cato's little brother, but to so many of us, he was our big brother. So yeah, that was definitely an emotional night.
Well,
sure.
yeah, and I saw it was the end. To me, it was an end of a chapter of guys my around when I was coming up and going through. Like he was the last of the ones. That was the final straw. So that's why I got emotional.
Those
So-
weren't feared tears, Bubba. They were real tears.
No, they were. Yeah, you were there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So okay, Shane, since you popped on, what was your take on the Rhea Ripley Vega match, ladies match? Do you hear me, Shane? Woo!
Shane,
Shane.
feel
Shane.
correspondent.
Say
Gone.
okay. See ya.
Oh,
He'll be back. He'll be
no
back.
word.
Things happen here. Technology. I'm just gonna say, Shane, you there? Shane.
I'm waiting for the hey, Bubba. That's what I'm waiting
Yeah.
for. That's always what he starts
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
with that really strong voice.
Well, like I said, everybody picked Rhea Ripley. So everybody
Did you
picked
Did you get your first win?
I think I did. I think I did. So yeah,
Kudos.
thank
Very
you.
proud of
Thank you. Well, I try.
You tried
Just
well.
follow me, Bubba. I'll lead you to the right path.
Well, you did way better than I did. So let me get Shane. Shane, are you there?
I'm here. I'm having some technical difficulties.
That's
Sorry,
okay.
boys.
Oh, that's okay. We can still hear you.
Yeah.
What's your take on the Rhea Ripley Vega Ladies Championship match?
Oh, it was fantastic.
Okay.
It was.
I can
I'll tell you
imagine
what.
you're
I thought. I thought that that Puerto Rican macho man looking, bedazzled freaking Puerto Rican flag she had. And if you've ever been in New York City during Puerto Rican Day, it is like the craziest thing you've ever seen. And that reminded me of it. Like every person who has Puerto Rican heritage in New York thinks they're Puerto Rican. Just like everybody who watched The Sopranos and is 1/4 Italian thinks that they know good Italian food and can speak Italian.
Oh,
Hey,
that's
Shane,
funny.
I mean, you could go to the Puerto Rican Day Parade. I mean, and you could rep the flag. I mean, you might. I'm half Hispanic. Rich will vouch. Oh,
Yeah.
He's a fake Hispanic.
He's a watered down Hispanic because he's Connecticut.
Hey, I'll tell you
told
what, boys. I am a sucker for a parade. I don't care if it's a gay pride parade. I don't care if it's Puerto Rican Day parade, homecoming
Any parade. Okay.
I'm a parade whore.
Okay, well that's good. You're a parade whore. I like that.
So that whole thing, putting her arms out and having that flag there, made me think of a parade. And then she gets her ass kicked. So, and it's all because of the Spirit Halloween slapdashery of makeup. You know what, Chris? I'll tell you what. You might need to go full battle rattle makeup. Maybe put some eyeliner on or something.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Emily Foster, thanks for tuning in. Jake Wiley, part of the Rad Boys, is on the house tuning in. Thank you, Jake, for tuning in. Wish you best of luck this Saturday night going against the Money Shot in Rise Wrestling. So I'm going down to that one. I can't wait. So anyway, we are at the street fight, the first ever street fight in Puerto Rico, which probably had many street fights in Puerto Rico, probably because you can always get knifed in Puerto Rico if you go down the wrong alley. But Bad Bunny versus Damian Priest. Chris, what was your take on this street fight?
This was a 25-minute advertisement for Bad Bunny's Spotify playlist.
Thank you.
Like I'm sure he's great at all the other things that he does. The 2 nights at Coachella and the Met Gala. That in Western Pennsylvania and $2 will get you a cup of coffee. That does not mean jack shit.
That must be a bad cup of coffee.
So this went on for fucking ever. All it did was make Damian Priest look like a punk. If you couldn't beat a 170-pound rapper in 20 minutes, you look like a punk.
Yep.
And then to have, what was it, 7 guys come out to the ring, to run off Damian and Finn Balor. Like, okay, you have, the LWO comprised of Legado de Fantasma, which
God bless you for saying that, because I'd have fucked all those names.
One third. Joaquin Wilde is of Filipino descent. He's not even from Latin America.
He lives from West. Isn't he from West Virginia?
Maybe.
Yeah.
We're all claiming shit these days.
They just needed a third guy, and he just was tan, I guess. I don't know.
Hey, Chris. You got to blame 23andMe, that Ancestry.com bullshit. Yep. Everybody thinks there's something.
1% Latino. I'm in. I'm LWO, baby.
That match went on entirely too long, and of course went into the.
Well, that's probably why they took that match too long, and then we had the 3-way for the championship short down the.
They probably cut those other 2 matches short and said, "Hey, give Bad Bunny and Damian all the time that they want. We're in Puerto Rico. He's got 140 million people subscribed to him on Twitter and all this other stuff.
I wish I had that.
So just let him have as much time as he wants." Nonsense. And then, of course, they went back into the staging area, and there was this mysterious black object that didn't look like anything that they can crash into. It wasn't. It didn't do it for me, and it went entirely too long.
Okay. Oh, Larry, let's go with you, Larry. What did you think?
Hey, so real quick, I didn't know that Bad Bunny was dating one of the Jenner girls. Did you know that?
Nope.
I didn't know that either.
Nor did I care.
That's right. Much of a waste of time as the match.
I just liked it when Brad Pitt kicked his ass and
I
killed
gotta
him in Bullet
Google
Train.
that now.
I'm going to go watch that on repeat after that match.
So, Larry, what did you think about this lovely Puerto Rican street fight?
I didn't think it was bad. I definitely thought it was going to be a lot worse. I thought it was going to be a squash match with Priest, but I mean, Bad Bunny held his own, I guess you can say. But overall, it wasn't bad. Definitely way too long.
Okay. Rich, what about you?
Sorry, I think I just fell asleep just like I did during that match. I mean, I'm sorry. At one point, like for the first 5 minutes, I was really into it. The next 5-7 minutes, I was not into it. I'm like, all right, this has to be almost over soon. So I got locked back in, thinking, okay, this has to be the end. And it wasn't the fucking end. And I'm like, okay. I remember I got up, I went to go to the bathroom real fast. I came back down. I'm like, all right, I'll probably be back in time before the ending's done. And lo and behold, they were still fucking going. I mean, Carlito coming back was a strange one. No, I didn't see that coming. I mean, I guess that he's suspected.
I don't think anybody saw that coming.
I guess we're just going to bring back every single person.
His father, Carlos Colon, was a very important wrestling promoter in Puerto Rico.
Okay,
and they gave him, and they gave him
a lot
a
of
bone.
homage. It was like homage week, basically, is what it felt like. But no, I mean, again, it wasn't a terrible match. It was just, and it felt like such a. My thing is, and we've talked about on this show how some people get too much credit, some don't get enough, airtime, stuff like that. I just feel like I get it. You're in Puerto Rico. The big star of the show is him. He's going to bring a bunch of his followers with him when he airs. But I feel like it was such a slight to a lot of the other wrestlers that had matches that did not go. Like again, that triple threat. I mean, you can cut that Bad Bunny and Damian Priest match probably in half, if not at least take a third of it off and give that to that match, for example, and it improves the quality of that match, and it probably improves the quality of this one by shortening it a little bit. I mean, I get it. I get why they had to go that route. I just don't think it was the best way to do it. Overall, not the worst match in the world. I just think that it would have been a lot better to watch had it been over maybe 5 to 7 minutes sooner and taken that time and a lot in that somewhere else where other guys could have a little bit more time in the spotlight, because guys like Bronson, Reed, and them have not gotten a fair shot in a lot of pay-per-views or even a regular Raws and stuff. And I thought that he performed so well. It was a shame that we didn't get to see more of that. And that's all. That's kind of how I looked at it. I looked at it from an overall match perspective, and that just didn't deserve to run the night. That's all. I just don't think it deserved it.
Danny, what was your take on this lovely Bad Bunny street fight in Puerto Rico?
Well, Larry, I'm agree with you. I just Googled it right now, and it is Kendall Jenner. I was like, I don't know.
What?
But,
that's
that's a 2 date and a 10. That's crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like a platypus and a unicorn making babies. It's fucking crazy.
A platycorn. I want a platycorn.
Yeah, it's like
it's something different. I want it.
So you didn't believe me, Danny? You thought he was dating the dad Jenner or what?
Listen, with this new age shit, listen,
no, we're not.
Bub, I don't trying to offend your.
You're not offending me. You're good.
But with nowadays, you never fucking know. I swear to God, you don't know.
How'd you like the match? Enough about Kendall Jenner. How'd you like the
match?
Yeah.
Back to the thing. I thought
Sorry
it
about that.
started out really good. He brought out all the weapons with the trash can, with the chain, especially after WrestleMania where Damian went to hit him with the chain and Bad Bunny pulled it. I thought that was pretty cool. But like everybody said, I think it just went on way too long. Like even when he smashed him through that table when they were in the crowd and they were like, oh, just pin him. And Damian said, oh, I'm not done. I just felt like it just went way too long.
Please, just be done.
Yeah, you're right. Especially with someone who doesn't have that kind of talent level or skill set.
Yeah, exactly. Like Damian could have easily had that match probably within 5 minutes.
Now, let me ask you this, Chris. Chris, would you take a loss to a guy like that? Would you do that willingly? I mean, just like let some random guy nobody's ever heard of walk in and just beat the shit out of you with a bunch of weapons and then make you look foolish? Is that something you'd be okay doing? If you did, you'd be sensitive about it. You wouldn't talk to anybody for a little bit after.
There'd have to be some conversation. Like
What, Chris? At least a foot rub and a belly tickle? I mean, seriously.
A little reach
Like
around.
other than dollars and cents, what benefit do we all get out of this?
Yeah.
Right.
Like, how does everybody look better after this match?
Yep.
And Damian Priest doesn't look any better after this match.
Nope.
No,
Right. If
no.
he was if Damian Priest, if it was like 18 months ago, and it would help him push him a little bit forward to make him a little bit more known, other than whose kid he is, but yeah.
Well, what's your take? Is that your take on it, Shane?
Yeah, I've chimed in too much. I'm sorry.
Oh no,
Yeah,
you're
but
fine.
You're good.
I think he should stick to wrestling any of the Jenners, Caitlyn or any of them. He's just wrestle the Jenners. They're all hot, no matter what they are. They're all
Well,
all the Jenner girls are hot.
You're
Bad
killing
Bunny
me, Shane.
situation. They like Bad Bunny. Triple H loves him because his social media stuff. Him and Logan Paul, with these two guys, they're massive amounts of social media stuff. I mean, he does train in the ring, and he does do what he needs to do. I think the match was way too long, and then he gave poor Damian Priest looks like a big time fucking jobber anymore. He's jobbing every fucking time, and part of this heel factor of Judgment Day, and Judgment Day should be fucking blown up because it's terrible. Like, it's god awful. The only one that's making any headway is Rhea Ripley. Ripley should just fire everybody and go on her own. But Bad Bunny beat him with a Canadian destroyer.
Yeah.
What the fuck? I mean,
In Puerto Rico.
Yeah, about weapons. That was the only thing that some of these moves is just a little bit like it's far fetched. And speaking of who took Bad Bunny, we got Chris, Donnie, Rick, Shane, Danny, and Todd. Now, who took Priest? I don't want to name any names. Me and Larry. Me and Larry. So I was looking for a huge upset. I didn't get it.
Well, you were upset, so you got what you were looking for.
Yeah.
Bub, come on.
If you were looking to get upset, you'd got it.
Yeah,
Bub, you should have known, Bub. He's
I
in
know.
Puerto Rico
Bubba knew.
with
Bubba
all
knew.
his
I
fans.
knew. I knew.
Bubba, no, he's trying to gain traction, brother.
He-
That's what he's trying to do.
It's
Yeah,
kind of like Shane
exactly.
taking
He
Britt
was
Baker
playing
in a match
catch-up.
she wasn't in.
He needed a big
Right.
shit.
Hey, listen here. I don't hear anybody else talking about someone else's picks 4 or 5 weeks later. That was the hot fucking pick. You know it.
Now, I will tell
We're
you
still
one thing.
talking about that shit.
If you would have
It's
won
because
that
it's hot.
match,
That's why.
well, we told you if you would have won that match, we were giving you like 10 fucking points for that. I mean, that
She'll
was
pin you, and then she'll do a root canal, and you'll wake up, you won't even know what the hell happened. Seriously, and you'll say there's 6 more weeks of till spring.
Okay. Well, we're going to the 6th match.
Shane.
Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, Matt Riddle versus the Usos, and Sola Sequoia.
Yeah.
Solo
Solo.
Sequoia.
Close
Bless
enough.
you, Bubba.
I
Sola,
practiced
Sola.
3 fucking times to say this.
Cola.
Sequoia. I practiced.
Sequoia, there you go.
Koa.
It's not.
Koa.
It's
Hey,
not
hey,
cola.
Bubba, wait. I want to ask you something.
Koa.
I want to
Koa.
ask you something.
What, Shane?
I hate to bring this up, but you
Oh,
need
boy.
to get an OnlyFans account because your voice is so sexy, so sultry. I want you to call me after and put me to bed.
What?
It's
'Cause my voice-
fantastic.
Because I was
It's
screaming
sexy.
for I was screaming for Chris.
Man,
I was screaming for Chris.
yeah.
Fell in a chair, hurt my hand. Yeah.
Oh
This
man,
podcast, man. This-
Solo Sequoia.
it went
Solo
from
There you go.
sounding bad yesterday, like it sounded bad
Solo.
yesterday.
3
Now it
fucking
hit that
times.
sweet
No,
spot.
hold
I
on,
need a
wait,
cola
hold on,
and a
hold on,
rum
hold
and
on.
Coke.
Hold on. Solo Sequoia. Not cola.
Oh.
Koa.
No. Solo
Oh,
Sequoia.
Rich,
You got it.
I'm not
You
gonna
got
lie.
it.
I don't know what you got me into. Love these guys, but I don't know what the fuck you got me into.
A good group.
Okay.
You should be grateful.
Okay. So, starting with you, Chris, what'd you think of this match?
Again, it was another kind of Samoan super kick party. It did what it needed to do to kind of push forward that. Oh, is the bloodline coming apart? Is Solo gonna spike his brother because Roman told him to, or whatever? You know, the Riddle, mixed in with Zayn and Owens, I don't really care for it that much. But they're, Riddle came back after getting himself in trouble, and now they're just trying to push him to see if they can get it to stick. So that they got the win. Did the Usos and Solo to try to move that story arc forward. So we'll see what that does moving forward. Is it going to be, Jay versus Roman at the Saudi show or what?
Hey, Chris, I have a question for you.
Yes.
What would you do with Riddle? It doesn't. He seems like a square peg in a round hole sometimes. He's talented. I like him.
Very true. No,
I feel like in the main roster he's kind of lost. I mean, he was really good in NXT. I also think that they kind of did to him and are doing to him what they did to Rob Van Dam when they brought him up. Like, okay, we're just going to make this guy an idiot stoner. Yeah. And that's going to be what we present to the fans. That this guy's just burnt completely and all he can say is bro.
Are they waiting for an Orton return, do you think? Maybe.
Yeah, that was a good pick. What do you boys think of that?
I felt like with this
keeping him around, just have Orton turn on him when he comes back.
That'd be great. Yeah. That'd be great.
I feel like something's going to happen with the Owens and something's going to happen with Owens and Zayn and Riddle. You can kind of feel the tension already, little by little, and then maybe that's kind of the chance where they kind of break out and Randy Orton kind of comes back and they might create some kind of a feud there, which I think would be pretty good. It's a lot more fun to watch than the Super Kick battle. But yeah, I don't know. Sorry, I just want to chime in.
Yeah, no, is that your take?
Well, I mean, the take on the biggest problem I had with the match was I thought what WWE did as a huge mistake is 47 minutes between two matches back to back, which is like the biggest critique on it. The whole thing was you figure it was 2.5 hours long, something like that, and 47 minutes of it was two matches that happened very quickly near each other, which kind of made the whole night kind of like blend together. That was a big thing for me. And again, I have a problem with using the super kick as a regular move. It just feels like Shawn Michaels is probably getting punched in the gut every time he watches a match with them in it. It feels like an insult. I mean, I remember being a kid watching HBK, and you took one shot, you might not get back up from it. I mean, maybe it might take him two to finish it, but that was at most. These guys are dropping 13 kicks. These guys are doing that instead of jabs. Instead of jabs or instead of trading blows middle of the ring, now we're just trading super kicks, which I never thought I'd ever see.
Thanks to the Young Bucks, too. So
yeah, I mean, it's just
hey, now.
It's a shame because you almost ruined a vintage move and you just made it into this absolutely overused, overpopulated move, and it's just not exciting anymore. I think that probably was when they first started out, which is why they're using it. But I think at this point, it's like, guys, let's kill that and do something else. This is just old. I mean, you're doing this all the time, and it's not even effective at this point. I mean, how many matches have you won because of super kicks? Pretty much zero. You still rely on the 1D, and that's pretty much the super kicks do nothing for you. It's not a signature. It's not a finisher. It's not a build up to one. It's just literally just random shit. But overall, I didn't think this match was great. I was disappointed in it. I was hoping for maybe something a little bit better, but I don't know. I wasn't a big fan. Went on too long as well.
Danny, what about you?
Well, like you said, Bubba, I'm gonna agree with you on this one.
Oh,
my heart kind of.
You don't have to.
No. I'm gonna agree with him because my heart kind of said take the bloodline, and I could have had all 7 matches won it. But I was like, you know what? I was like, no, they're gonna give it to Zayn, Owen, and Riddle.
Well, you did take the Owen, Riddle, and Zayn.
Yeah, but like in my heart, my heart said, oh, take the bloodline. But I was like, nah, there ain't no way. But then watching it, I thought about what Chris said, about the Saudi Arabia thing. I was like. And then watching the fight, I was like, "Oh shit!" I'm like, "Chris is right," But I really thought that it was a good fight. I'm not gonna lie with everyone else. It really was a good fight.
Okay,
I'll give that a solid B.
Okay,
all of them are B's.
Larry,
pretty much.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Bubba.
Yeah,
I nodded off, and I was waking up as they were ringing the bell, so I missed the whole match.
I did the same fucking thing.
I was out. I was on the phone with Danny and I fell asleep mid-match. I was gone.
My mouth was wide open. I woke up and flies were going in my
fighting,
mouth.
Right? They were still fighting, weren't they? Yeah, see? Too fucking long. If you could fall asleep and be
I was
that
hoping
KO'd.
someone else admitted to it too, man. I saw the finish and that was it. I was like, holy fuck! I saw the beginning. I must have fell. I dozed off because I only got like an hour of sleep because I went from Imagine Wrestling when I got home to watch the pay-per-view and I had to work Sunday. I went to work with 1 hour of sleep. And it was an energy drink day and it wasn't good. But yeah, I fucking dozed off too.
And then I got to add, Matt Riddle's making headlines again today. I don't know if any of you saw.
No.
What's happening, Larry?
Oh, no.
Larry.
Well, some of his videos and pictures were leaked.
Oh no!
Uh-oh.
What was he doing, Larry?
He was swinging his meat.
Oh, bro.
Shit.
Bro.
Bro was swinging a meat log.
Bro.
Oh.
Swinging it around.
Well, he might go where Mandy Rose went to OnlyFans and make his cash there.
Well, they're saying that they think it's his ex-wife that leaked them.
it.
So
you think?
Shit.
Doesn't matter. It's still on the open air now.
Right.
And this is PG era. They will not want anything to do with you right now, as far as the PG era goes.
Oh my.
That's a quick get out. That's a quick get out of the goddamn business.
Well, there's his
right
push, bro.
Guess we're not
That
waiting
ain't
for
me, bro.
RKO
That
to
ain't
come
me,
back
bro.
anymore. No more RK bro. Now it's just gonna be RKO again. We're just gonna get rid of the bro part.
Talk about a round peg in a square hole.
So how many of you knew about Riddle today?
No,
Didn't know about it.
No, I didn't know.
Nobody knew?
No, you broke news. I didn't know.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know either.
I was outside
I'm not
mowing
gonna
grass
lie.
and doing yard work.
Hey, usually
I was
on this
getting ready
channel we just break wind.
I was getting ready to ask how many people actually looked up the video and pictures, but then nobody knew. So I'm not.
No.
I guess I was the only one that did.
Oh.
Well, see, my thing is that Google pops up with wrestling because obviously I'm a wrestling fan. The only thing that popped up was that Rhea Ripley posted a explicit tweet saying about New Day, saying she tweeted, "Come at me, bitch." That's all she tweeted.
Oh,
like
that's nothing.
That's not
I'm like, are you serious?
This
like,
podcast is explicit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
You want fucking explicit? You come on.
What was your take on the bloodline?
Well, I'll tell you what. I actually picked it. I thought the bloodline with them almost punching each other. I didn't really dig that, but I'll tell you what. You guys had some really good takes, Rich and Chris. I'll tell you what. We're talking from one end of Pennsylvania to the other. I mean, we got some wrestling minds here that know the pulse of what's going on in the writers' room, and I think you guys pretty much figured it out. But I still can't figure out what they're doing with
Shane,
Riddle.
it's
Like I
actually
mentioned,
you too, because when I give these fucking results, you're gonna be like, "Holy shit!"
Well, I'm going. Well, before I was going with my heart and what I want to happen, and then I thought, well, I need to sit back and think about it, the storyline, and
you did comment section for a little while there too. So I mean, you were a people pleaser for a little bit.
What was your
yeah.
Shane,
I do it for the fans.
What was your heart saying?
Oh, my heart was saying that the Usos, but then I tell you what, Sami Zayn's been getting a big push, and
thank you. Yep.
Everybody, Chris, Donnie, Rich, Shane, Danny, Todd, and myself took Sami Zayn, Owens, and Riddle, and Larry took the Usos.
Fuck you, Larry.
Sokoa. Yeah.
Well, to be fair, we thought I for some reason forgot Matt Riddle and Solo was in that match for whatever reason.
Well, I don't have much to say about this match.
And I thought they were going to give Owens and Zayn the win back from losing the titles, but I had forgot that match happened a week prior, and they didn't take them.
I don't have much to add because I was dozing off, and I really didn't care about this match anyway. but I'm glad I won one. So that's cool for
Woo.
me.
It's two.
So
Uh-huh.
yeah. So the main event: Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar. Rhodes with a huge win. What was your take on that, Chris? And I get some comments here from Craig and Patton.
Yep.
I liked the match all the way up until the finish. I did not like the finish of that match. It just looked a little too contrived's not necessarily the word I want to use there, but it looked a little too
quick.
Chris, it was a TV dinner. It was a TV dinner.
I'm gonna say
It's on a tray.
predictable. Are you
Hold
saying
on.
predictable, Chris?
No,
Yeah.
I'm not saying predictable. What I'm saying is I've trained Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I was kind of hoping Mr. Tapout was going to make it tonight. I was going to kind of pitch to him for my review of this match.
Oh,
Brock
shit.
Lesnar has never thrown on a weaker or sloppier Kimura in his life than that Kimura.
Yeah, because usually
Brock
he puts it
Lesnar,
in.
265 pounds, throws you in a Kimura. He's not going to go, wait
He's
for what
squeezing
to
your fucking head
happen.
off.
What's
Yeah.
going to happen? What's going to happen? No, he's taking your fucking arm home with him. That's what
Yeah.
he's going to do.
That. Yeah.
So we should have done something else if we wanted Cody to win there rather than have him escape the weakest Kimura Brock Lesnar has ever applied in his entire life. You made Brock's Kimura that snapped Triple H's arm and snapped John Cena's arm and all these other people that he had taken out with his submission game. It didn't mean anything because Cody can just stack him up because he's putting on this half-hearted.
Cody's Hercules now. He's all of a sudden he's fucking Hercules.
Well, he I didn't see him. Well, once again, I didn't pick him because I took Brock. I'm the only one that took Brock because I thought seriously, I don't think Cody could fucking beat him. And then he's kind of scripted or whatever.
And as soon as he slapped on the Kimura, I thought you were right.
Yeah. I was
There's
hoping
Donnie.
that you were right. Yeah. It was weak, but he
Yeah,
hasn't been using it.
I get what you're saying, Donnie, but
you can't weaken it that way.
That was he was ordering a pizza while doing this Kimura at the same time.
Yeah.
You know damn right well. If you'd have slapped on that Kimura, you'd have taken Cody Rhodes' fucking arm home.
Yeah, it slithered out like a snake. I don't know, Rich. What's your take on this match?
I felt the same way. I liked it early on. I thought it was a really good match. Early on, I thought it had a really good trajectory. I mean, I thought it was going really well. But I have to say, I did notice the same thing. They've always made Brock's. I know we don't talk about it much anymore. And I agree with what Donnie said. He actually kind of took my thunder there, which is they haven't really been using Brock's submission much. At all, as far as like over the last, I don't know, maybe like the last year or so. It's been a lot more about his power and his strength, and those are the obvious traits. But again, I fully agree with Chris here. I thought that the Kimura was always one of his best moves which he rarely uses, but when he does, it usually makes a major fucking impact. And I don't know if it's, I could be wrong. I don't remember anybody ever getting out of that. I don't remember that being a move that's ever been been broken.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if Cain Velasquez did in their little brief interactions or not.
Okay, but I'm just saying. I mean, it definitely. But like you said, you mentioned two of the biggest legends in WWE as far as Cena and Triple H and like major guys with major prestige who couldn't get out of it. And now it's like, hey, well, I guess Cody Rhodes is way tougher than both of you guys because he got out fucking easy peasy. And I agree. I thought the ending of the match was pretty much of a letdown. And I was shocked that it ended that way. I had a feeling Cody Rhodes was going to win, but had you told me that's how he was going to do it, I would have told you that you were wrong, and I would have come up with a whole different theory. But yeah, I was not a big fan of the ending of the match. Overall, good match. Ending. Could have done that a little bit differently.
Okay. Danny, what about you?
Listen, I see the comments, and Don, you are right. It was weak. I've seen Brock use the finisher, and I was like, oh, okay, he's definitely got it. And like Chris said, he snapped Triple H's arm. So I was like, oh, he definitely got this. And then when Cody just kind of like did like a circle and pinned him, I was like, no. I was like, this is definitely, like Don said, I definitely think this is weak. So I was like, I definitely don't feel like it was one of the best matches.
Okay. Larry?
I definitely thought it was a weak finish also. I'm going to agree with all Yins on that. But the only issue I have is you have Cody winning over Brock. And then this new championship that they're doing that tournament with, he was supposed to win it, so they have him lose Monday night, and he's out of the tournament. So, am I wrong, Chris?
Well, he lost. Brock come out and cost him the title last night.
I
He can't win that belt now.
No,
I
he cannot.
I don't know what the hell they're doing. I had heard somebody say that new championship is the Seth Rollins "Please Don't Go" championship belt.
That could be. That could be.
I actually have a bet with a buddy of mine for $20 on that Seth Rollins will be the very first champion with it.
Or if they find McIntyre's not even in it, so it doesn't even matter. But I know Brock, when he come out last night, he had stitches in his fucking head because he took that, that big giant that turnbuckle, and I mean he looked pissed. Cost him that thing Monday night, which I try to watch Monday Night Raw, but I watch it like maybe on YouTube or something. But I try to watch it because I figured it had a different flair because Vince didn't have his fingers in Monday night. It's all Triple H now. But I thought it was weak, but I don't know. So Shane, what did you think?
You guys tied it up with a bow. I mean, I'll tell you, it's. I kind of blamed it on the writer's strike, but I don't know if that applies to WWE because they've been.
I don't know. They do write stuff. I don't know.
Shitty for a while.
Yeah, I don't know if that would ruin, because they do have their own writers. If they go on strike, does all the writers go on strike? I don't know.
Are they union? I don't know. That's what I'm asking the boys.
There's no union.
I don't know that.
There's no union in WWE. Man.
I didn't think so.
Vince
I
ain't
didn't
having
think
no
so.
union.
They don't like that shit.
Brand by one writer.
That's how Jesse Ventura got his ass fired.
That's a no.
He wanted to unionize.
There's only one gorilla in this business, and that's it.
But I mean, they're both so talented. Why would you have to ruin the storyline with something like that? And it just kind of, I don't know. It's just frustrating.
It felt like a forced storyline anyway. I mean,
it felt like
more of a. It was a cop out. It was a cop out to take the attention away from Cody and Roman. So they had to come up with somebody else who could be just as villainous for the hero to step in and fight. And it felt like Brock was forced in there because they knew they were going to move Roman over to SmackDown, let him keep his championship, avoid having to have their champion lose. And Brock was a perfect peg to put into place. To block Cody for now.
It was simple. It was a TV dinner. It was just everything looked like it was just.
But
so
he's a free agent, so he can go to both shows. He can go to both shows.
Yep.
He cost Cody that title because now he's not getting that title. And the big long story, now it's a longer story, is Cody has to go and fight Roman Reigns again somehow, someday, some way to make this story actually make any sense. I don't know how they're going to do it, but they have a whole year to get to it. I don't know. I have no idea.
I'm losing patience with the storyline.
Yeah. They're pissing me off with the storyline. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, it's like a series now. You gotta Chris, go ahead. You're looking to say
but at the same time, kind of the modern wrestling fan has kind of
short attention spans.
Where now issues between guys are getting resolved in 3 weeks because there's a pay-per-view coming up.
Yeah.
Whereas, before it was 6, 7, 8 months, a year before of build to get to a big match.
If I remember correctly, even like the Batista Triple H rivalry way back, that went on for quite some fucking time. I mean, that was months, and they didn't settle that for a long time. I mean, there was a lot of teasing where they would both walk out and talk shit, but then both turn or they'd run towards each other, stop, and whatever. Like those storylines, those storylines used to be very carefully, very precisely built. And they did not let that, they would have other people run in. They would fight like the ally of somebody. It was always something, but they would never actually go head to head. And it was always for such a good reason because that buildup is so high that eventually when you finally create that match, the fucking roof blows off. And I feel like you don't get that feeling anymore from these matches.
No, you don't.
There's no release. There's no moment of, Oh, that felt so good to see. Like that was what I needed. Now it just feels like, okay, well, that storyline's over. Let's see what the next one's going to be for 2 weeks, and we'll talk about the next one. It's just kind of sad. I mean, I agree with you. I just think they're kind of killing the beauty of
payoff.
the
Yeah,
storyline.
Donnie is right. This is a long storyline where the payoff has to be big, and it has to be over hurdles, over facing Brock's, facing other people to get to Roman.
has to end with Roman.
I'm okay with a long storyline because I'm good. It's like watching a TV show and having 22 episodes or a Walking Dead 11 years, and that's a little too long. Don't get me
Or
wrong.
Cheers.
But
Cheers, Sam and Diane, you know?
Right. Yeah. I like Cheers is good. But something
that-
where it has to have the long storyline. It has to, and you're going to have a little bit hiccups in the storyline. Right now, Brock Lesnar is a hiccup in Cody Rhodes trying to get where he needs to be.
Yep.
Yeah.
He was
The
never
ultimate
going to have that
playoff
Raw
has
title.
to be Cody over Roman.
It
has
has
to.
to.
You cannot give Cody a major title unless it is. You already built it up to him and Roman. You already saw what Roman was talking about. Oh, well, your dad liked me more. There's a lot of things that have been said and done that I think people forget about in this storyline.
But when they do that match has to be super big.
Yep.
Okay, it has to be in a steel cage match. Something to end it. A Hell
no
in a
bullshit
Cell.
with the Usos.
No
None
bullshit.
of that. Yep.
12 months into this story. I mean, you're already at 9 months.
That's the other thing that I miss about wrestling.
He's been hurt
too, though.
for fucking 8.
I also miss when the WWE would allow a major wrestler to take a loss and not have to find some bullshit way to say, oh, we lost, but his foot was on the rope, or somebody snuck in and hit somebody with a finisher, or like that's the only problem I have is there's so many cop-outs now where the champions, maybe it's just the champions don't want to take the loss, or maybe the WWE doesn't want to hurt the reputation. But like again, you watch the Cody Rhodes and Roman fight. Solo has to pop up and give him why not? If you're gonna let Roman win, just let Roman win legitimately. Like what's
well, that's because he's a heel. Because he's a heel.
I know, but I'm saying though the problem is
what happened to fucking Coleman the other night.
Yeah.
He wasn't by himself. They all these guys come in and they got chased off.
But it's happening. It's happening too fucking often. I mean, look at WrestleMania.
I got a knot on my head covered from a ginger ale can.
But look, I mean, WrestleMania was the same thing. We saw 2 or 3 matches end on a really weird technicality at the end, and we're all sitting there like, it used to be once in a while you would do shit like that, and now it's becoming a WWE staple. If a major wrestler is going to lose a match, you got to look for the way that bullshit's going to happen to create it, because they're not going to let him take the loss standing up. It's not going to be an individual.
The greatest storyline, Rich, in WrestleMania, in any type of WrestleMania history, was that whole year long, the Mega Powers breaking off. And Savage had the belt, and Hogan took the belt. That was a long time that percolated. You have never seen that in the modern day of wrestling until right now with Cody Rhodes. You will. This will be it. This will be it.
Well, listen, Bubba. Listen, I see Dom's comments. He said, "I don't feel like Cody to have that belt. I feel like he should. I feel like he should have that belt. The
belt that he just got beat in that tournament, that he's not in that
We're saying for Raw.
Yeah.
We're saying for the Raw.
He don't need that. He don't need
We're
that
not
belt.
saying the belt with Roman. We're saying not the belt from Raw.
No, I know.
Yeah.
The heavyweight championship from Raw. I feel like Cody should have that championship. He does need that big payoff because
Nope.
Why do you say that?
That's a participation ribbon, Danny.
Yeah.
That's a consolation prize.
The next title Cody Rhodes wins has to be the title from Roman Reigns.
Mm-hmm.
You set the storyline up. Yeah. He wants the main championship. Well, right now, Roman, this title is one of those vacant secondary titles. It's not a main title. As of right now, since Roman still holds the other one, since Roman is the primary WWE champion until otherwise, it has to be, in order for him to get his dad's legacy fulfilled of winning the WWE championship from the champion, it has to be Cody Rhodes over Roman. You can't give him a vacant title where he beats a bunch of random guys to win it. It has to be him versus the main guy in WWE, and he has to walk with it. Nothing else.
But if you listen, they said, Triple H said, "Oh, we're gonna have the tournament in Raw, and we're gonna have the tournament in SmackDown."
There is no tournament in SmackDown.
No, that's what he said.
No,
I was watching a TikTok, and he said both of the Raw and SmackDown championships are gonna go for the heavyweight championship.
It's the same. This is all the same effect when his old man had to go against Ric Flair, and Ric Flair never gave him opportunities. Dusty had to keep going and fighting and scratching and clawing to get that fucking Starrcade match over Flair. It's the same as Cody. Everything's going to be against Cody. They put Brock in his way right now. Brock beat the living shit out of him the other night. I like the way he did it because he had them staples. He had a black eye. That Brock I like, and hopefully they can use him. And they're going to feud right now. I can't see Cody beating Brock Lesnar like another time, but it probably will to get over that. But they have to. But he's got to beat Roman to have that title to get that legacy. So.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you, bro. I definitely agree.
Oh, you're allowed to. You're allowed to. But let's get to who did I miss on anything on this Cody Rhodes and Brock? Did I miss anybody?
That was all of us. Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm gonna go right into the picks on who got it real good. Larry, you were 5 out of 7. God bless you. Chris, you were 6 out of 7. It was that Omos one.
No, Bubba. I was 5 out of 7. I picked Sami Zayn and Riddle over the Usos. I was 5 of 7.
No, hold on. No, you picked the only one. Oh God, no, you
didn't take Bloodline.
You take Owens, Zayn, and Riddle.
That's correct.
Yeah, plus the Omos one, so he lost both. Yeah.
He
took Omos.
Yes, that was the only one that he did not get right.
No, sir.
He got Bad Bunny.
I took Owens, Zayn, and Riddle, and I took Omos. So I was 5 of 7, not 6 of 7.
Yeah, he lost those two.
Well, who won?
The Bloodline.
Wait, I'm confused.
Oh, the Bloodline did lose or win?
The Bloodline won. The Bloodline
won.
Riddle spiked Riddle.
Oh, fuck. I fucked that all up now. Fuck.
Wait. What do you mean you fucked that all up?
He got it.
Just give him a second.
Circle gets the square.
Yeah. I thought when I read that
No, Solo spiked Riddle, and then
and that ended.
See, I got some false information on the internet because I fell asleep.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
you can't be doing that, bub.
Got that one right.
Telling
you. Larry, you are 6 out of 7.
Woo!
6 out of 7.
I wish I was 7. I wish I had taken the Bloodline, as I thought, but
okay. So you're 5.
Acknowledge me, fellas.
You're 5 out of 7.
You good, Larry.
Okay,
I'm gonna give you that.
Yeah, hold on a second. Okay, Donnie is 6 out of 7. Rich is 6 out of 7. That Bloodline messed everybody up. They took Owens and Riddle. Shane was 5 out of 7. 5 out of 7. Danny, you were 6 out of 7 also.
Yep.
See, I fucked up on the and also Todd was 6 out of 7. And I was
4.
I was 3 out of
7.
3 out of 7. I suck.
Yeah.
3 out of 7.
Barely below 50%, but who's keeping count? Oh, wait,
Bubba, you can't be great at everything.
No, I can't. I thought no offense, I thought the Bloodline on when I just did this before,
so too.
The Bloodline won on the false report I got on the internet, and fuckers. Because I fell asleep. I didn't want
that. How the internet is.
Bubba,
I
think it's from me and you talking yesterday. I gave you some bum information because I thought they won too.
Yeah, I thought.
So blame me.
Too. I thought Riddle fucking.
Yeah, listen to the guy that called Britt Baker.
Yeah.
Way to go, field correspondent.
When in doubt, blame
See,
Shane.
I wasn't part of that, so I don't know, but it's funny.
Fake news.
So,
You're
hey,
fake news.
Jeff Blaistone, Travis Williams, and Mike Stitt, thanks for tuning in to the
Mike Stitt. There's a name I haven't heard in a while.
Megacast. Yeah, he just popped on. I don't know how long
his
he's
wife
gone.
delivered my kids.
Oh, there you go.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Chris, do you have anything to promote before we get out of here?
Imagine Live from the Dojos Wednesday night at 7 p.m. on YouTube.
Okay. Hopefully you get a rematch. I'm praying. We'll send the army. But also, too, I want to tell you guys, we're going to be doing the Saudi pay-per-view and the AEW pay-per-view. We'll have to make that real quick because that's 2 pay-per-views, and that could take a long time. So we'll just give our
watching
picks.
AEW, fellas?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hey.
I try to. I never have the time.
Thanks, Kurt. Thank
Oh
you,
my
Kurt.
God, Kurt Mears.
Kurt Mears. Yep, Kurt Mears is on. Thank you, Kurt. I've been friends with Kurt for, oh my God, 30
He
something
was
years.
your neighbor.
I know. I know. It's awesome.
Bubba,
Yeah.
you know,
So,
someone said follow
how
your
about-
passions, bro. Love it.
Yeah. How about you, Rich? You got anything to promote before we get out of here?
Oh man, I don't know. I don't think I have anything this time around, but yeah, I think I'm good. Shop Allstate for insurance. Make sure it's
There you
me that
go.
you give a call to. That's all.
Okay, Danny, real
610-590-4205.
real quick, Danny.
Uh, it hasn't happened yet, but me and Rich have been on the phone talking. We're talking about a podcast,
When he's more sober.
possibly. So you know,
We're gonna have
you
beer
got-
limits on our show.
Listen,
We're gonna have a
I
beer
can't
limit on
stop
my
at
show.
one beer. I can't stop at one beer.
Well, stop
okay?
at two. Stop at two, Danny.
Maybe three, Bubba.
Okay. Three.
Okay.
I'm telling you, three is maybe the max.
Okay.
But,
Okay. Well,
yeah.
thanks, Danny, for popping in. Shane, you got anything to promote?
Kurt Mears better like and subscribe to the Triple V Experience if he knows
Everybody
what's
in
good
the
for him.
comments section should like and subscribe.
Yeah,
to
that's
the show.
right. That's
There's
right.
no
Don't
reason
be a
not to.
shithead.
We're getting
It's 2
close
clicks of
to-
a button.
I'm
Don't
trying
be
to
a
get
shithead.
950 on
Listen.
YouTube. It's close.
It's like
Keep
2
going,
clicks of a
Bubba
button for
Scholar.
the greatest
Keep going.
podcast in
Scholar,
Indiana County.
Pennsylvania for talent from Pittsburgh to Slippery Rock, Indiana, and all parts in between, out to Philadelphia, to
To
just
Connecticut,
entertain you.
Shane.
So like and
Connecticut.
subscribe.
Shane,
And
don't forget.
Connecticut, for crying out
I'm
loud.
Connecticut. Yeah, don't forget
Yeah,
about
that's right.
Connecticut.
Ah, yeah, yes, he was. I believe he was. Kurt was a hell of a wrestler, Donnie.
Yeah,
I
he was
remember
a good wrestler.
when he beat
Yeah.
that dude from United at one time. He upset him. Kurt beat him.
Yeah.
That was all those years of wrestling out in the yard. Larry Stryker, what do you got to promote, brother?
Well, you know, we got coming up. We're doing this summer. Me and the other shitheads. We're doing food mania this summer.
Food Mania. Ooh,
We're doing Food Mania. It's going to have a little wrestling twist to it.
okay.
So you know, we're taping our first one this weekend, and it's going to be interesting. So,
Okay. Cool.
but you know, stay tuned for that. And then one last thing: don't shoot the messenger. But I heard there's a major wrestler coming to Steel City Con in August.
That better
I
be
read
Hulk-
it. I read it in the thing today,
Hulk Hogan.
and it's not Hulk Hogan.
Shit. Stone Cold Steve Austin.
I will
don't
say
know,
this.
Larry.
Okay.
I will say, if it's true, it is CM Punk.
Wow.
Larry, I don't know.
yeah, I
I
don't
might have
care.
to drive from Connecticut to Pennsylvania just to see that shit.
You like
I
CM
might
Punk
have
that
to.
much, Danny?
I love CM Punk.
I liked
yeah.
him when he was the
I ain't- I'm
new
not-
NXS.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm
Thank you, Shane.
not going to see CM Punk.
I don't like him the old.
Come
on,
but I
Bubba.
like him the.
I'm
He's
sorry,
okay,
Larry.
but he's not as
He's okay, but
You
he's
know-
not. I'm not standing in line for CM Punk.
You know what it is?
No.
It's because of the fact that he's been out of
The new
wrestling for
neck-
a while. Danny, hold
Bubba.
on. The problem with CM Punk, the problem with him is he's become like one of those like mythological creatures where like we haven't seen him in so long. Whenever his name comes up, everybody's nipples get hard and freak the fuck out. Oh my God, CM Punk.
Yeah.
But the
I'm
funny
not a-
thing is, when he was wrestling, he did not have near the same fandom as he does now. It's like they love you when you're gone, but they hate you when you come back. That's what CM Punk is living through right now.
Yep.
He'll be back for
Yeah.
3 months, and you won't hear shit
yeah,
about
Larry.
CM
I know
Punk
you'll
anymore.
get your autograph, but
But
I'm
listen,
okay. I'd rather see
I
Mike
was a
Tyson.
CM Punk. I loved him when he was quote unquote drug free or whatever.
Well, he's
the
still
fuck
drug-free.
he was.
Yeah, he is.
But
You need-
Straight
it
edge.
was,
You
it
need
was
to call
definitely. I was definitely a fan, especially when he was the new Nexus. I was definitely a fan.
He,
Yeah.
just needs, he just needs AA.
Right.
That's all. He
Yeah,
needs
that's
AA.
okay. Okay,
All right.
guys. Like I said, we'll do the pay per view. I'll get a hold of you guys for the AEW and the Saudi one. We'll do that real quick. But also too, if you haven't hit smash, like Donnie said, subscribe or get tapped out for Mr. Tap Out. We're getting close to 950 on the YouTube channel. The Spotify last week was blowing up. So I appreciate everybody for tuning in. I appreciate everybody that's commenting. And tomorrow night with the Triple B Black Gold Dynasty show, we'll be talking Steelers. And this Friday, we'll be talking. I got something interesting to talk about Friday. So tune in because I'm gonna go nuclear Friday. And I told people on my social media that I'm going to say something. I am going to say something. Hopefully my voice is good. I'll be ready to cut and slice and dice and be the verbal violator come Friday night on the Triple B Experience. So, guys, I appreciate you guys all tuning in.
Go Sixers.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I appreciate the guys from the panel. Guys, we'll see you around when we do the next pay-per-view. Everybody have a great night, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Remember, hit subscribe. God bless everybody. Thanks for tuning in, and I still suck at picking wrestling picks, so I can't help it. Okay, good night, people. See you guys later.